Hi, everyone. I'm Alan True, and thank you for joining us on the 24/7 Sports YouTube channel for a special event. We are streaming live the commitment of Ben Minich, a safety out of Lakota West High School in Westchester, Ohio, a storied program that has had many top recruits coming through its doors over the years. And Ben is a good one. He is a three-star prospect on the industry-generated 24/7 Sports composite, but a four-star for us at 24/7 Sports, and our evaluation team is a big believer in his athleticism. He's a three-sport athlete who has also participated in basketball and track and field, and it is on the track that he turned a lot of heads this spring and summer and furthered his football recruitment. He ran as fast as 10.47 in the 100-meter dash and has regularly been sub-11 in that event over the last 2 years. That translates over to football on Friday nights, where he's a two-way player for Lakota West, an outstanding receiver, but it is as a safety where he covers a lot of ground where schools really coveted him. He can play in the deep part of the secondary. He can come down and support the run. And that type of all-around skill and ability to be out on the field for three downs is why he garnered offers from 24 different programs. And in advance of his recruitment or of his commitment today, Ben narrowed his list down to 5 schools. And a lot of these schools came into the process a little bit later. Early on, his offer list was Ivy League schools who loved his academic profile, schools like Iowa State and Vanderbilt as well. But as schools started to see his track times and see the athleticism that he had, he saw his offer list grow greatly into where it is today. So he's narrowed his list down to 5 schools: Stanford, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Cincinnati, and Kentucky. Those are the 5 he is getting set to choose from. Some of those schools, like I said, did not jump in until this summer. So he was able to quickly set some official visits, narrow his list down, and is ready to announce his decision. So we now welcome in from Westchester High School, live from his high school, the man of the hour, Ben Minich. Ben, thanks for joining us. First of all, why don't you tell us who is joining you up on stage on this special day?
How's it going? I'm here with my sister, Ellie, my dad, and then my brother, Drew. My mom couldn't make it tonight, but I know she's watching, so I just want to say hi.
And why did you choose to have them join you on a day like today? How have they helped you through the process to help you become who you are?
They've always been there for me. Since birth, my sister, my dad, and then my little brother, I've always been by his side. He's always been pushing me, and my parents have always been on me, making me the best person I can be.
And I mentioned a little bit about your recruitment. It took a little bit of time to get going, and then it really exploded in the spring and summer here. What is the recruiting process like? What has it been like for you, and how did the summer kind of change and affect things?
The recruiting process has been great. Like you said, it really took off for me like May and June, especially with the track times, then being able to go out and compete at some camps. It was great. Just checking out different schools, seeing some great universities, meeting some great coaches and coaching staffs, and then just getting to spend time with my family, my dad, my mom. We got to go out to a lot of different places, so it was really fun.
So after you took some official visits, you picked up more offers. You got some end of June, even into July, you were still getting offers. Did that kind of throw a wrench into things? And how difficult was it to get to know some of those schools with them coming in a little bit later?
It was good. I mean, it was definitely different than most people, but better late than never. So, got to talk with those schools, stay in contact as much as I could, take a few visits, and then just stay connected.
All right. Well, I think it's time to give the viewers what they want. Why don't you let us know where you will be spending your college football and academic career?
All right. Before I announce, I just wanted to give a few thank yous. I want to thank God first, just for blessing me with the athletic and just giving me the abilities to play at such a high level. I want to thank my mom and dad, just for raising me to the athlete, the person I am today. I want to thank my little brother for pushing me to be the best athlete person I can be. My sister for always being there. Special thanks to Coach Tom Bolden and then all the Lakota West staff for just helping me with this recruiting process and then just develop me into the player I am today and making me fall in love with the game. I want to thank all my past and current coaches, and then I want to thank all the coaches and universities for recruiting me. I want to thank everyone here tonight, and I want to thank my friends, family, and teammates just for coming to support and always having my back. And then, with all that being said, I'll be headed to the University of Notre Dame.
So Ben, congratulations. Notre Dame is one of those schools we talked about that came in a little bit later. They offered in July. So what was it about them that allowed you to build a relationship so quickly and know that that was where you wanted to be?
I think they just had it all for me. Great coaching staff. They have my goals in mind. I mean, I want to go to the NFL. I want to get a great degree, and they had both. Coach O'Leary, Coach Golden, and Coach Freeman. They're all just great people, and they're who I want to be around for the next couple years. And to go with that, just the top tier football and the top tier academics, and the connections I'll make.
So you mentioned Coach Freeman. He's not only a defensive-minded guy, but he's a state of Ohio native himself. What specifically about him did you feel a connection with and made him the guy you wanted to play for?
Oh yeah, having that Ohio bond, it's big. Him being from Ohio, it's already there, and he believes in me. I feel like, and just through the interactions we've had, it's been great. He seems like a great guy, a lot of energy, and he's just someone I want to be around.
And I can't believe we're saying this, but we're only a couple weeks away from actual high school football now in the start of Ohio, or in the state of Ohio. So how excited are you to have this commitment behind you now and just focus on your senior year? Maybe what are some of your goals for this fall?
It was good. It was good to put this behind me. And now it's time to lock in with my guys here today, and come win the state championship, bring it home for Lakota West.
All right, Ben, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you and everybody at Lakota West for helping us make this happen. Congratulations on the commitment once again, and best of luck this fall and then in South Bend as you continue your career.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
There you have it. Ben Minich is added to an already very strong Notre Dame class, giving them a third safety in the class and a commitment from the state of Ohio, where head coach Marcus Freeman is a native. We now have Tom Loy from Irish Illustrated joining us. Tom, first, your reaction to this commitment. It was a guy that Notre Dame offered a little bit later in the process. They had to beat Cincinnati is no pushover to beat on the recruiting trail. Now they had to beat them. They had to beat out Oklahoma. So how does Ben fit into the Notre Dame class now?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you're not going to find a better fit. He really is the perfect fit for Notre Dame, and he said it himself. He was looking for a blend of academics and athletics, so big win there. And this guy came out and earned the offer he wanted. You know, he wanted the Notre Dame offer, came to camp, and he told me earlier this week when we were kind of breaking down his commitment, he didn't have to. He didn't have to come and compete and get the offer, but he really wanted it, and that's just who he is. He's a competitor. He puts in the work, puts in the time, and he wants to play among the best. And he went out there and earned the offer. Chris O'Leary, Marcus Freeman, Al Golden, they offered him, and that quickly resulted in a commitment. So this is a kid that wants to win championships. He's a guy that I see that has potential to be a captain for this Notre Dame defense. So for that alone, like I said, perfect fit. He went out there and earned it. So kudos to him. And now he's in the class.
So imagine that Chris O'Leary has done a great job at the position, and the success of a guy like Kyle Hamilton has helped. Notre Dame now has 3 safeties in this class. How do you see those 3 coexisting together in this defense?
First of all, I want to give a ton of love, like you said, Chris O'Leary. I mean, this guy put in a ton of work here, and it was quick. He knew he had to play catch up and put in the work there. And what I liked most about this was that he was very honest. He didn't make any empty promises to Minich or anything like that. He told him, come to camp, get the offer if you do well, and you can commit right after that. And he lived up to it. So kudos to him. Also, Marcus Freeman. Minich believes in the direction of the program. Al Golden, he's got the NFL experience. Ben sees himself down the road if all things play out and playing in the NFL. And with Golden having that experience, he can take him to that next level. And then somebody else that gets a lot of love on the side, but we didn't mention him yet, Chad Bowden, helped Ben really fall in love with the program, with Notre Dame as a whole, and his energy and passion. So I wanted to just give a shout out to those guys first and foremost, because they put in the work, and Ben would attest to that. But overall, yes, they got Peyton Bowen, Adon Schuler, and now Ben Minich. I mean, we're talking a ton of speed in the secondary. And then you pair them with Christian Gray, a guy you know really well, and a guy you're very high on at corner, and then Micah Bell, another, maybe the fastest guy of this group. So it's pretty ridiculous. We've always talked about how Notre Dame lacks speed, and they've done a much better job of getting that in the secondary over the last couple of years. And they just added that again today with Minich, who's had, I know he had the wind aided 4, I think it was 4.4 or 10.4, 100-meter dash, whatever it was. But this kid can absolutely fly. So I'm super stoked about that because of the fact that, like, you pair all 5 of these guys together and it's a ridiculous group. But they're going to have to battle it out, man. I wouldn't say any of them are necessarily better than the other. They're all great kids. They're all great players, and it's going to be fun to watch them kind of compete. So it's going to be fun.
So one of those guys that you mentioned is Peyton Bowen, who, when I was at the Future 50 event last month, was still talking about some other schools coming at him. Is there an update or anything new with Peyton Bowen and his status as a Notre Dame commit?
You know, to be completely honest, you talk to people at Notre Dame feels optimistic. You talk to people at Oklahoma, they feel optimistic. Throw in Texas A&M, same for them. They feel optimistic. So I don't think anybody necessarily thinks it's a slam dunk, done deal. This is where Peyton Bowen's going. But if I talk to people inside the Goog at Notre Dame, they feel confident. They feel optimistic. They feel like the conversations that they've had with him since his trips to A&M and Oklahoma have all been positive. They weren't born yesterday. And I wrote this at irishillustrated.com. They weren't born yesterday. So they're not going to just be kind of laying in the weeds and hopeful. They're going to continue to recruit him to the highest level as if he's not even committed. You know, Marcus Freeman, it's all about big boy recruiting. They want to recruit the best of the best. And they have no problem going against, you know, Alabama, LSU, Oklahoma, USC, you name it. They have no problem going toe to toe with everybody. So that's what you're going to have when you have guys like Peyton Bowen in your class, Keon Keeley. You're going to have to recruit against the best of the best. And my gut says Peyton Bowen sticks based on everything I'm told. I think that he's just kind of having a little trouble saying no, and he's really enjoying the process. And you know what? He's earned it. So let him enjoy it. Let him take his visits. Let him have fun. But it gets down to crunch time. I know Notre Dame feels that at this point, it's kind of getting into the fall. Focus on football, do your thing there, and then let's kind of put the recruiting stuff to bed. And you know, obviously, like I said, hopefully they're hopeful he signs. But right now, my gut says Bowen and Keon Keeley stick with the Irish.
All right. So that brings me to my final question, Tom. You talked about big boy recruiting. Notre Dame is doing that. They have the #1 class in the 24/7 Sports Composite team recruiting rankings. A couple schools, though, nipping at their heels, Nick Saban in Alabama. What's left for them in this class, and can they hang on to that top spot?
Yeah, there's a couple guys. I mean, it's going to be tough for them to hold on to the top spot. I mean, it's just I see them finishing for sure in the top 5. Obviously, that, you know, weighs heavily on keeping Peyton Bowen and Keon Keeley in the class. But there's a couple guys out there. I know Ronan Hannafin is a guy we've talked about a ton over the last couple of months. That should be Notre Dame or Clemson. I know Boston College is making a run. Notre Dame has a really good wide receiver class. And personally, I'm a big Ronan Hannafin fan. I thought he was a 4-star for a very long time. And I think that would be a big pickup for Chancey Stuckey in the offense. They have Jeremiah Love, a guy I know you're very high on. He's out there. He can play running back, receiver, really anywhere. He's just a freaky offensive athlete. So they would love to, to land him and add him to the running back hall. And then big picture, they got to get a quarterback, and that's going to be. But again, I don't see that as necessarily an immediate need. I know Kenny Minchie's out there, and that's a guy that they're pushing for. He's the guy, after Dante Moore and a handful of others, Austin Novosad. But this is the guy right now, so they're probably going to wait for him to say no. But at the same time, I mean, I've said this for months. If Dante Moore wasn't going to pick Notre Dame, let a guy emerge. I know that the academics are a factor, but let a guy emerge at the position. Give him a few weeks this fall. There's guys that are going to be, in my opinion, there's a guy or two at quarterback that will end up in our top 247 that we may not even know about yet. A guy that maybe was injured last year or only played in a game last year. So let the process play out a little bit longer, see who emerges. And then I think Notre Dame needs to find that guy and go all in on him early, because that's really all they're missing is that crown jewel is like a big time player at quarterback this cycle.
Tom, appreciate you joining us and appreciate all your hard work on Irish Illustrated. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Tom.
And there you have it from Mr. Tom Loy, as Notre Dame helps further their #1 spot in the team recruiting rankings by adding 4-star safety Ben Minich to the class. Make sure you get over and check out all of the work Tom and our outstanding staff at Irish Illustrated do. You can find that at NotreDame.247sports.com. We thank everybody for joining us on today's live stream. We thank Ben Minich and the staff at Lakota West for helping us set that up. Please stay tuned right here to the 24/7 Sports YouTube channels. We have many more live commitments coming up. Like the video, subscribe to our channel, and also get over to 247sports.com for all the latest in football recruiting, basketball recruiting, and college sports. Thank you to everyone for joining us, and have a good night.